Now then, I'm going to go to, do you remember I was telling you about my cut on my thumb? Well, it's been absolutely perfect. And then the other day, as I say, with the weather changing, I'm getting hard skin. For all I'm putting cream on and everything. It's actually improving. But I got some really nice comments from a lot of you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly read them to you. The first one was Linda Bennett and Joan Searing. Hi Linda, hi Joan. Linda said Avon makes a cream for cracked heels that works well to heal fingers too. She says I put it on before I go to bed. And then Joan Searing mentioned more or less the same thing. You could try skin softening cream for cracked skin on the feet. It's quite thick and rich. And I hear what you're saying, both of you. It's a thicker cream. I've actually got something like that, so I think I will be using it. Then Dallas, a lady called Dallas. I think it's a lady called Dallas. Hi Dallas. My mother gets cracked hands during gardening season. Once she notices the problem, she starts using Mary Kay satin hands regularly and puts on bag balm. Now I've never heard of bag balm. After her shower, and once it soaks in a bit, she puts corn huskers lotion on top of that. It's quite a process, but it works for her. So these are American terms: corn huskers lotion and bag balm. Never heard of them. I'm going to have to, I think I made a comment to them that I'm going to see if I can find them online and get some. Then Karen R said you mix a tablespoonful of olive oil and a teaspoonful of sugar, then you rub it all over your hands and it helps to get rid of hard skin and helps prevent cracks. She says I have to use a bit of soap after to get rid of the excess, but it works like a charm. Then Marge Wyatt says Germaline liquid plaster, but be warned, it stings, but it does help. Well, you know, what makes you bad makes you better. That's what they say. Then True Gendy says a little Neosporin and some Vaseline over it works well for me. Now, I've never heard of Neosporin either, so that was a new one on me. I keep them covered with a band-aid when I'm sewing, knitting, whatever else I'm up to. Well, that's what I've had to do. I've had to wear a band-aid. Then Sarah J said try organic coconut oil. It's one that's worth trying. Rona McCluskey, Rona and I are constantly commenting about things to each other on Instagram. Hi Rona. She says Snowfire, it's amazing for cracks on your hands. I use it all the time. Great for gardening hands also. So it seems that gardening hands have the same problem as I do. Janet Lask, I started using rubber gloves whenever I use cleaners and my thumbs healed. Yes, I agree with you, Janet. Rubber gloves, when I wear rubber gloves, they do help to prevent the cracks. The only trouble is, I've washed dishes. My mother was always a rubber glove person, but I just can't get away with them. And I've always washed dishes without rubber gloves. And so, of course, that probably doesn't help. Linda Sutton, my thumbs go just like yours if I handle wadding for bag making or quilts. Now, a few people said that fabric makes your hands dry, so you've got to constantly use creams on your hands to soften them. She says, I now wear thin gloves to do these jobs and don't have any problems now. I think I know you wear special gloves for quilting, and I wonder if that's not just a grip, but I think it may also be because the fabric dries your hands. Tell me if I'm right or tell me if I'm wrong. Lisa Fenn, try Aveeno cream. It's made using oats and is very moisturising. I think I had some Aveeno actually. And then, let me get down here to the next one. Nona or Nona Lynn. Hi Nona. Don't know if you get Avon products in UK, but I used to do silk screening and needed protection from inks, and we used Avon Care Silicone Glove Protective Hand. Avon Care Silicone Glove Protective Hand Cream. It was great stuff, and they still make it, and that was 25 years ago. So I did look that up, and yes, they do that. So that's probably another one that's worth looking at. Ruth Wilkinson says Neutrogena is very good. Lenny Jensen, is that the right way to say your name, Lenny? I think I once questioned that before. Try bees honey on your hands. My husband uses it on everything and it works. Brigitte Logue, oh, I love that name, Brigitte. That's a Brigitte Logue. Brigitte Logue. She says, I use L'Occitane hand cream and it works. Yes, I have to say, my favourite cream is L'Occitane. Or L'Occitane, and I do love it. And I've got some foot cream of theirs as well, and I've often been putting the foot cream on my hands because I just feel that it's slightly thicker and it's great for wearing when I go to bed. Then Cass Call says, I've had those cracks in the skin on my thumbs and swear by using rubber gloves when washing dishes. There's another one who mentions rubber gloves. Rennie Slav. Now, Rennie's always making comments to me. Hi, Rennie. Nice to see you. Nice to talk to you. Nice to know that you're watching me. My hands are dry too. I can recommend Bag Balm. So she's the second one to recommend this Bag Balm. Don't know if you can get it in the UK, but it's been around a very long time. And it was created for cows' teats to keep them soft and prevent cracking. It's similar to Vaseline, but has something added to promote healing. I use it on my hands and feet. It comes in a round green tin and doesn't cost much more than $7. So there's a picture of the Bag Balm up here, or I've put one up, and that sounds very interesting. I don't know if I think we get it in the UK, I'm not sure. I did look it up after you told me about it, Rennie, and I haven't, unfortunately my hands have been getting a bit better, so I didn't really start getting too many of these things, and I thought I'm going to be bankrupt by the time I bought them all. But I quite fancy trying that Bag Balm. Then Christine Henwood says, on the sewing quarter today, and those of you who don't know, which by the way, Hazel, and can I just tell you a little bit about Hazel? Hazel lives in Spain. Hi Hazel, nice to she always watches my vlogs. Hazel lives in Spain, and Hazel has been creating a sewing room for herself. She's never sewn. I don't think you have. I think you told me you've never sewn before, Hazel. But she's bought all the equipment. She's bought the sewing machine. She's got it all ready, and she's had this ready for a good year or more, I think it is. And unfortunately, she lives in Spain, and she wanted this room prepared, and it's taken a while because her husband Colin had a stroke. And of course he's been recovering, so she couldn't ask him to do any more work. And then she had to get lots of things, electrics and everything done. And every now and again she messages me a picture to show me how it's getting on. And this sewing room, honestly, this lady is so versatile. She has created, obviously, I mean, like all of us, sometimes money's tight, and she's created cupboards out of cardboard, and really, and she's painted them white. And had she not told me that they were made of cardboard, I would not have known. They look absolutely wonderful. And her husband has made this lovely cutting table and everything, and she watches this sewing channel which is called Sewing, where is it? I've only managed to watch it for about 5 or 10 minutes. Sewing Quarter. It's a channel that's on YouTube, I think it is. I think it's YouTube. You'll correct me if I'm wrong. And it's all about sewing, and it's basically an English program, and they sell stuff on it. They sell fabrics, they sell kits and things. But she's always saying, "Oh, the sewing quarter's got this, the sewing quarter's got that. Tell your viewers to watch this." And so Hazel has built up this sewing room, and I'm dying for it to get going on it. And I'm sure you are too, Hazel, because you've been waiting and waiting for so long. But I think it's getting to the sunny time in Spain, and you won't be interested in sitting in that hot room. I know you say you've got air conditioning. You'll want to be outside with a glass of wine and enjoying the sunshine. Anyway, Christine Henwood, on the Sewing Quarter today, they're selling a product called Seams Kotoris Hand Cream. It's 75 millilitres and it's £14. And then, I think there's only 2 more. I've gone on for quite a long time, yeah. Janice, I'm sending you a couple of pictures of the product I learned to use for my hands when I was working in a nursing home. The head nurse told us to rub it in until you can't see it. They brought they bought it by the caseload for staff because we washed our hands with soap 7 times every 15 minutes when we were doing personal cares. I purchased my own after I went to a different job. It's sold in the horse care products in the agriculture and farm stores. Especially in the winter, I put it on thick and wear lightweight gloves overnight. So I think it, and I can't remember why I haven't got. I think it's called. I'll put whatever it is there because she did tell me. I think it's corn. Might be the corn product. And then finally, Sue Longview just made that light bulb in my head go ping. Why didn't you think of that? Sue said you can buy on Amazon an item called Silipos digital toe covers. Well, actually you can get finger covers. They're very soft silicone and would fit over the thumbs, and they're very cheap. Put castor oil liberally on the end of your thumbs each night and cover them with silicone caps, which would allow the castor oil to sink in without getting on the bed covers. It takes about an hour for the oil to sink in. Yes, I can hear you now having a laugh about it with your hubby, but it's worth a try. Sue, you don't know, it just jogged my mind. This is what old age does for you, because I used to do that when I was making jewellery, because I was filing and because I was making silverware and rings and necklaces and you name it, I was making it. And you've got to file stuff. My hands were always getting dry, so I used to. They had in the jewellery trade, you could get these little silicone covers, and they covered your fingers and your thumb. And I always had one on both thumbs because both thumbs, the pressure of filing with a file used to cause my skin to dry and burst open, and the only way I could stop it was by having these silicone covers on. And I used to wear them during the day, and I'd put a wad of cream on underneath, shove the cover on, and that would stay on for the whole day. It started off a lovely clear white colour. By the end of the day it was a dirty black because of the job I was doing, but by golly, it kept my thumbs stopped them from cracking. So yes, I think that's one of the most important things. I will consider all the creams that you lot have recommended to me, but the silicone covers, which I'll put a link, a picture up there. You can get them on Amazon. I'm sure you can get them on eBay. I think you can get them at chemists. They were really good, especially when you're doing gardening or whatever. I could use them during the daytime, and when you put them in your gloves, you pull them off and they'd come off with them, but it used to help protect my thumb. So I shall be getting some of those, and I shall keep them in my drawer for when the thumbs go dry. Now then, I have been on for an awful long time now, and you're probably fed up with my voice, so I'm going to love you and leave you until the next time.